About 8 o'clock on July 11th, and I'm back on the PCT. I was lucky to catch a ride this morning. I've been off the trail for 5 days. It's been a couple days where the trail comes in at the Shelter Cove Resort. Stayed in my tent, ate the frozen pizzas, did a day walk down the railroad tracks to the resort the other end. And then we had 3 days of bad weather come in, cold and rain, and snow at the higher elevations. And I felt that since I had the money and the time, I'd just relax there. At the other resort, they have the prices are reasonable, and they have a restaurant. So I just let my body recuperate for a few more days. I'm back at it today, not expecting any rain, but everything is drenched. Everything is soaking wet, so eventually my pants and socks and shoes will be wet as well. It was a nice break. Had a rough go getting over Thielsen. And anyway, so this next section can either be about 80 or 100 miles. I guess it could technically be 42 as well if I got off at Elk Lake. There's Santiam and McKenzie Pass. I'm gonna try to go to the furthest pass, which will put me about 100 miles, so that the next section isn't so long. If I take the first of those two passes, then the next section is actually extra long. 100 and something. I'll see how I feel when I get to that point. I got 5+ days of food. I had too much when I arrived and got my food package, but I've been whittling that down during my stay here. I don't think water's going to be an issue for a good ways. Seems like there's lakes every 5 miles or so. I'll take it. Starting off heavy, of course, with 5 to 6 days of food, but only got about a liter of water. This is what it looks like. It's just beautiful here. These big pine, all this moss. I've been hiking for 40 minutes, and I've reached that point where you don't hear vehicles anymore. When you leave a town or a resort or something like that, there's always a road, and so there's all this traffic. And then you make your way up the hill, and gradually the sound of the traffic gets less and less. And then you reach a point to where, oh yeah, I can't hear any cars anymore. And you get this. Well, I've got to say, I've been real fortunate so far. After 2.5 miles, there's been a maintenance crew through here, and I haven't had a single blowdown to deal with, and they've probably knocked out about 20. And then look at this trail too, so wide. I thought I would be drenched by now, but knock on wood, trail's been very wide and easy. It's been all uphill, but it's been a gentle slope, so that's good. This whole stretch of trail up to Santiam and McKenzie Pass is just dotted with dozens of lakes. So just get used to seeing all kinds of pretty lakes. Now, if this was back in Kentucky, or just about any other state where you've got a nice lake like this, there'd just be a zillion people here. Boats and cars and trucks and dogs and kids and fishermen, and somebody just jumped in. I guess that was a frog. But here, it's just me. This is my 4th lake. Up here's my 5th lake. They're just all over the place. I know this is going to change later, but for the moment, I'm so thankful there's no mosquitoes all over me. It got below freezing up in the higher elevations. That might have knocked them down a bit. The height of these signs tells you how deep the snow gets around here. They're about 18 feet off the ground, I'd say. PCT straight forward. I didn't expect to run into any snow. I had a couple small patches. I think I'm around 6,300 feet. So this area must have got a lot of snow. And then there's no sun on it. Slowly coming down in elevation, still above 6,000. Kind of thought I'd be done with the snow. It's still big snowbanks. It's not a hindrance though, I'm just going around it. Nothing like Mount Thielsen, where there was no trail. It's going on 4, and I'm taking a break at Charlton Lake. I think this is the biggest lake I've seen today. Nobody here. There was another hiker came up, and she was looking for her friend, but no non-hikers. I think there's a road over to the left, but I've not come across it yet. This is a major watering spot. My legs feel like they're shot already. They've been feeling like that way for a couple hours. Usually this is how I feel at the end of the day, not at 3-something. So I did 17 plus miles, and I didn't start till 8. So I'm not sure if I've overdone it or a 5-day break is just too long. I had 2 ascents, like 1,000 plus, and I don't know, 800, 1,000, whatever. But they weren't particularly steep, just gradual, so that's about par. I'm not sure. Unless I know otherwise, I'm just going to assume it's the 5-day break I took, even though I did go for a 5-mile walk on the railroad track one day. But debating whether to cook now, get that over with and head on it, and then get as far as I can this evening. Might be the best thing to do. In the meantime, I'll sit here and watch these fish jump up every so often, try to catch a bug. This is rare. Graffiti on the PCT. Troop 177 maybe, Bethel, Boy Scouts. August 2nd, 1960, Eugene. Yeah, we don't, graffiti is really frowned upon, but well, that stuff's been there 56 years. This one was a heck of paint to hang in there that long. Something happened here a long time ago. Nothing black unless all charcoal comes off if it burned. After 20 miles of hiking, I've reached the first blowdown. 19.99 miles back to Highway 58. So, thank you to the trail maintainers who made this last section so much better, easier for me. Look at that mountain over there. I mean, it's just a bunch of dead sticks, it looks like. It's covered. There's some live trees too, but that's wild. This has been sort of surreal walking through this stuff. It's like all the trees are about 20 feet high and snapped off. Not any sign of fire that I can see. Every now and then there's something a little burnt a little bit, but by and large everything's just the regular color, but gray and dead. And it's been like this for a few miles. It just goes on and on. So something happened here many years ago. Tonight I'm camped next to Taylor Lake. Not a soul here, just me and a million mosquitoes. That's Taylor Lake. That's me. 22.4 miles. I'm very pleased with my miles. Starting at 8, so it's like an hour or so later than normal. But I just wanted to get above 20 if possible, because I got a long haul. So whatever I can do today and tomorrow and the next day, tack on another mile or two at the end of the day, then on that last day it won't be as hard.